weekly meeting hosts and participants assume no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions in the content of this episode. Any mentions of real people or actions are alleged. The information contained in this podcast is provided on an as-is basis with no guarantees of completeness, accuracy, usefulness, or timeliness.
Thanks, Daddy.
I'm doing Dan's podcast. I'm busy. I'm in the weekly meeting, babe. I can't.
Dude, I showered for this.
Welcome to the weekly meeting, everybody.
Redo that. Redo that.
Dan.
No, Dan, redo it. People were talking.
Bad?
Try again.
Who's talking? David?
Everybody. Just shut the fuck up for like 20 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the weekly meeting, everybody.
Oh, that was pretty rough too, actually. You kind of blew out your mic a little bit there. Stop yelling.
Did I really?
I need you to like kind of maybe
God.
tone it down just about 2-3 notches and then try again. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
It's the weekly meeting. I'm your host, Dan. Here also with me is Shaggy.
Yeah, that was pretty
David
rough
and
too,
Jeremy.
actually. I'm a little too turned on by your voice right now. I think I just need you to just take it up maybe one notch, but maybe down a half notch, okay?
Why don't you do this one, Shaggy?
If I get too erect, then we're just going to have a really rough podcast.
It's already going to be a rough podcast.
Yeah, I can
What do you
tell.
mean I'm here?
Exactly.
This is easy.
Yeah.
No, not you specifically.
I'm already.
It's just-
Jared's here, so I'm already bricked up. So I think we're all good to go.
Dude, I showered for this.
As opposed to usually not showering, is that it?
It's an unironic problem when you work remote. Like, unless I hit the gym, you know how it
I didn't
goes.
shower, but I'm wet.
Oh, there it is. That's what we started on.
Welcome to the weekly meeting. As always, as I've already said, we've got Shaggy, who's been producing.
Yeah, as I do, obviously, at all times. I'm constantly producing just quality content.
David.
I'm here.
And our guest for this week, hi, Jeremy.
Hey.
All right, so I'll go through the agenda real quick just to tell you what we're doing. I think this is just going to be a bit of a spicy podcast. We've all had a week. So we're going to start with talking degeneracy. So that's like boys' nights ideas, what we're doing right now while we're yelling into our microphones, that kind of stuff.
I'm keeping my camera above my desk for a reason.
For sure. That
Like it.
degeneracy. We've got some news stories, something about monkeys, and then justice for Peanut the squirrel. I have been working real hard, and I've been getting a lot of collections of out of office replies, so I'm excited to share at least a couple of those. And then we'll interview Jeremy for a bit. So let's go. All right, guys, what happened this week?
What didn't happen this week, Dan?
Yeah, this recording on November 8th. So what has happened this week? Election happened this week. I've had just an absolutely abysmal work week myself. I've definitely worked at least 3 to 4 hours every day on top of what I normally do. It's been a nightmare. So feeling pretty spicy. Hopefully we can get really into these topics, but I'm ready to chat with my boys rather than think about work. Shaggy, what happened this week?
Oh, it's been a time. Yeah, my dog almost died again. He's been very, very sick. I'm kind of at a point in my relatively new job that I'm pretty much ready to quit and find something else. It's been a very stressful last 2 weeks, gotta say. But on the upside, the dog's on new meds. He's doing okay. He ate a couple jerky treats today. That's a bonus. He hasn't eaten in 4 days, so that's been great.
See, we're all having a week. David?
Yeah, I'll start out the same. Work has been going up shit's creek this whole week, too. I've been bogged down with stuff that is way out of my realm of expertise, so and there's a hard deadline on a lot of that, so I'm trying to just scramble to find people to help me with that, because otherwise I'm shit out of luck with a lot of it. So that's been yeah, terrible. Stressing with that.
Are they making the sprocket
also,
guy
there's
do wheels?
No, dude, I gotta do like other stuff that's not even sprocket related.
Oh my
Man,
gosh.
Scary.
Unsprocket
Not other
related work.
stuff.
Yeah,
You're the
testing
sprocket
things
guy.
that aren't even sprockets, so it's out of my realm. But also, it's been snowing a shitload. I think this is like the most snow we've ever gotten around this time, because it was like the hottest October on record, and then right after that it was just a big old fuck you, here's a shitload of snow.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of been just hunkering down for the past 3 days at this point, which is,
We've
it's
only
not,
had it
not the
like a
worst
day
thing.
and a half here, so like the Denver metro area got hit a lot
Dude,
harder.
Denver's getting
Yeah.
slammed.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we were getting pounded, and
Okay.
yeah, it's been
Aggressive.
real crazy. I don't think there's been like a lot of accidents. Maybe I haven't checked the news, but
Well, it's hard to have a crash when there's so much snow to cushion you between the other car as you
that's true.
push it in.
That is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how that's been going.
All right, Jeremy, do you have any lighter notes for us? Have you had a
Dude,
good week?
You want some positivity, Dan? I can be your positive man for a bit. So, work-wise, like I said, joined a new group this week. The only thing that sucks is daily 7:30 a.m. meetings, which that's very privileged to be able to complain about as a remote worker, but I'll still complain about it. Well, yeah,
Check
decent
your
work, but very good diet this week. Chopper has had so much fun in the snow, and he's not dying. Sorry, David. So,
Damn.
that's really good. Well, it's a positive note. You know?
You're right.
Yeah, it's a positive note. He's actually doing really good. He only peed because when it's like snowing or raining outside, like Chopper has problems doing it outside. Would think it's vibration problem or whatever. He's only peed in the house once this whole week
Vibration?
during. Yeah, like
The vibrations of the snow. Oh, like the rain hitting the
yeah,
ground?
yeah. Because like if it's just water, he's fine. But if it's rain, he freaks out and will break a door.
Nice. Wild.
So he only
think I
peed like
know.
once in the house, you know, and so good
That's a
gym
win.
this week, good diet this week. Have a date planned this weekend. Might get canceled because of
Ew.
the snow. Who knows? But we are chilling, as I'd like to call it. Last week was bad. This week's good. So
All right.
take those.
Thanks, boys. I think we continue on into our news and mini topics.
Let's fighting law.
That's South Park, David.
Yeah, it
Love
is.
fighting law.
Protect my balls. And then just other random shit.
Shaggy?
Dude, fucking.
You were just. I was like, is he still alive over there?
I was texting, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Is it your girl?
Yeah.
That's allowed then.
Okay.
She's like, "Are you on the podcast right now?"
No, I
Chopper
literally,
there?
she was,
He's not locked in.
I like read her message, and the messages have read receipts. So she's like, "Hello," and I'm like, "I'm doing Dan's podcast. I'm busy. I'm in the weekly meeting, babe. I can't do it right now. Okay,
You gotta say you're hustling.
I'm
This
hustling.
is your side gig.
I'm making the money.
Definitely, we were
Making
making so
big
much money
moves.
from this.
I'll have you know, David,
What,
the
we're
number one
fifth in
podcast in Pakistan.
Number one. Oh.
Where do you get that stat from?
Money moves.
Like, are you sure they're not just on a V? It's not just a code on a VPN.
All I'll say
Who is Dakota?
is
We only know Chaba.
it's on you to
Okay.
prove me wrong. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's get 2 viewers from Pakistan.
All right, guys. Weekly news, mini topics. We're talking degeneracy. So to continue on with what my week has been, my wife has been out of town for work, so I have just been living like a absolute slob. You clanking those ice cubes around?
Oh, can you hear that? Sorry.
Yeah, he's trying to.
You have a
Dude,
good
he's
mic
getting
there,
his
bud.
fancy. Okay.
I was swirling my honey whiskey.
Should I ask what
Soft
brand?
piano right now.
I think it's American honey. I don't know. One of our friends brought it over, and I feel like I needed a break from Jameson. I've been drinking probably about 4 fingers worth of Jameson every night this week, and I really need to chill out.
Oof.
What the?
So instead,
Yeah.
just go straight to honey whiskey. He's chugging it.
Ah, there it is. There's 5 fingers right there.
Degeneracy. Exactly what I'm talking about.
It's just crazy on these meds. Like I don't want to drink. Like I looked at it, I was just like, and not because I'm better. No, like I'm just like, ugh.
I don't want to drink.
Like, I'm worse.
Unlike you,
Okay.
my dog is perfectly healthy, and actually, I don't even drink anymore.
No, dude, weekends are bad. Weekends are
Check
bad.
your privilege chair.
I did, and I love it. Did you not see our privilege win this week? That's what I'm saying.
I work remote. You work in the snow.
But I'm getting my daily vitamin D by walking in the snow. I think you're forgetting about that. I
I
have to get my
take
feet wet.
Flintstone gummies every morning.
Okay. Okay.
I love David.
David, we're going to start with you. You seem to be on some kind of roll right now.
Oh, Shag, get it going.
Boys' night ideas. What do you do when you're home alone, and what's your pizza order? Choose any of the 3 that you want to talk about.
Oh. You said David. Are you talking to me or are you talking to David?
I was talking about Shaggy. I guess your name is David.
It
That's
is-
the
it
challenge
is
here.
David.
I mean, generally.
Yeah.
All right, Shaggy.
Hi. I'm a kind of a classic sort of guy, I like to pour a nice glass of whiskey. I'll hang out with the dogs, maybe watch a good spooky movie. I'm a big horror movie guy on occasion. Most people that I tend to talk to and hang out with hate horror movies, so it's kind of a me thing. I just do it by myself, similar to my sex life, and so I just generally like to, get a glass of whiskey, maybe watch a movie, hang out. My pizza order, though, is I do love a good cheesy bread, and I like pepperoni and olive is my go-to, regardless of what place I get it from.
Olive?
Yeah,
On
black
pepperoni?
olive. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would not expect that.
I'm not a
Okay.
huge black olive fan.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
an
not hating.
acquired taste.
I'm
I would
curious,
say,
yeah.
you got to be a
You're above me
savory,
now.
salty
I can't
sort
do
of
that.
guy. I'm not big on sweets, but I am big on salt, and so when it comes to like olives specifically, I do love a good olive. Green, black, Kalamata, any of them.
Wow, you really actually just very coherently tore through that list in a very succinct way. That was impressive.
Yeah, the whiskey hasn't completely.
I was
hit
going to
yet.
do that. That's
was-
a man that
Wait.
just chugged a whiskey.
Yeah, that was a big glass of whiskey. It hasn't. It'll. I'm going downhill quickly, so I'm glad you started with me.
You can never go downhill with us, Shaggy.
So I'll take up second here. My boys' night are just general degeneracy that I've been doing by myself with my cat children, who are my boys. I set up 2 TVs downstairs while my wife is out of town, and actually 3 TVs at one point. On one, I had College Football 25 on the PlayStation. On the middle one, I had sports, and on the third one, I either had cartoons or porn. It was actually
Wait, what about the combination?
there
That
Was there
that-
any hentai?
there was
going
always had to
on?
be sports and porn, or sports and cartoons. I
Either
feel
way.
like the overlap there.
A lot of
Don't
balls
knock
in the
till you
air.
try it. That's all I got to
a
say.
lot of balls there. I mean, at a certain point, there's almost too many balls, and that's when I have to switch to cartoons. So yeah, I guess you can imagine what I do when I'm home alone from that statement. But yeah, I just hang out, play video games. I sit here and sit on Discord sometimes and just do exactly this all by myself.
Just by
I
yourself.
have
jack off
hours
in
of
the call?
unrecorded. Of course.
Okay, I'm just
Just
making
because
sure.
I forget to leave the call because I
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
my pizza order is a Domino's pan crust with the garlic sauce and Philly cheesesteak and onion. Delicious. It's got the
Bad
garlic
one.
sauce on the pan pizza. Oh, perfect.
I made my comments on the olives. I actually kind of tried.
He's lost.
You're
the
the pan crust is a choice. Are you just a big bread guy? I know you're not a big sauce guy, so the garlic sauce makes sense because it kind of soaks into the bread. It doesn't really.
Yep.
It's not wet like the marinara. You know, so I could see that for you, but
It does make it wet, though.
the pan crust is just, it's like eating a loaf of bread. It's a lot of bread.
It's so buttery though, and also I do agree there's a lot of bread. I always get at least a second pizza that is not a pan or the pan bake when I get that. But something about the bread and that like crunchy outside crust with the cheese that's all melted, that's just hits the spot.
Yeah, I could see it.
Jer,
All right. So, every Tuesday, the family here, we get our pizza from Papa Murphy's because there's a really good deal. You can get like 2 larges for like $15.
Papa John's.
Yeah.
We
And
had a Chaba incident last time with Papa John's.
when is there never a Chaba incident with food?
Anyway, continue.
Yeah. I say that with love. But so we get that pizza, but we just get a regular pepperoni and then just split it. But if I'm out, my go-to is a barbecue chicken pizza.
Ah, you're a freak.
That's been my thing. I've always said I'm a freak.
Bro,
Barbecue sauce with chicken on there's something about that barbecue
Is
sauce.
it even pizza at
barbecue
that
sauce
point?
doesn't.
Yeah, there's still cheese. There's tomato sauce. There's crust.
There's no tomato sauce on a barbecue chicken
I
pizza.
just want to hear what David is saying this whole time.
Yeah.
For fuck's
He's got to
sake,
yell.
there it is.
He's got to yell, dude.
Hey, there we
Hey,
go.
how's it going?
Yeah, barbecue doesn't belong anywhere near pizza or anything related to pizza.
I
Barbecue
agree.
sauce is disgusting on pizza. It shouldn't mix.
I'm on Jared's
And I will
side here.
die on
Actually.
that.
Yeah,
hill.
dude,
No.
there's something about that. I don't know, but I also love it on like a bacon barbecue cheeseburger. Something about
Yeah,
that
see, that's a cheeseburger. That can-
pizza has cheese.
Sure, but like it's not a burger.
You could put hamburger slices on the pizza.
Yeah, that's not
That's
a
the
pizza
main
either,
ingredients of
though.
a
That
hamburger
seems
right there.
just so wrong.
What's a hamburger?
Jared, pick a
sauce?
new pizza.
Pick a new pizza. Get a,
I
be-
like
get a
it.
better
I like
option.
that.
Whoa.
Barbecue bacon.
No.
Not barbecue bacon. Barbecue chicken pizza.
I'm on Jared's side. I say it stays in. This is my podcast. I'll edit away your guys' critical thoughts.
And it's like I get like the King Supers brand, the thin crust on that.
The thin crust.
Hold on.
is-
Like $6.
Barbecue chicken frozen pizza dog? What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Holy
still slaps.
shit.
To go and takeout?
God
I don't
damn,
go
son.
take out that dude. It's too expensive.
No, it is not.
Yeah, going out.
Bro, you can get a pizza like one to feed you for the night for like $6 with like 2 toppings.
I love that Domino's deal. The $6.90.
It's
The 2
that's
for
such
six.
a good deal. That's such a good deal. I miss living next to a Domino's for that reason.
I mean, I'll pay the delivery. The delivery I don't even think about. I'm like, no, that's not part of this payment.
I just walk
A
there, dude.
$6 food is like $11 with delivery, which is insane to think about.
That's why you go get it.
I am not going to be able to drive when I want to order Domino's pizza.
Exactly.
All right,
You
David.
lose your sanity a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Boys' night. The tried and true would be some karaoke. And
True.
everybody's got to sing. And I can think of a point where all 4 of us were at a karaoke night, and it was a fun-ass time.
That
And
was
we
fun.
saw some
We got like
pretty
the
interesting
whole
characters.
club to dance
Yeah.
with us. That was
You're
crazy.
Damn right. Hell yeah. Yeah. And I mean, if someone's like, oh, I don't want to do it, I'm too scared, then you just got to, forcibly have them drink. And
Everyone-
then they'll get there. So,
Literally.
Everyone
Yeah.
can sing Johnny Cash, bro.
yeah, see, there you go. And then what do I do when home alone? I've been playing a lot of South Park Fractured Butthole.
Okay.
Butthole.
Oh.
That's been pretty fun.
What is? Give me
What's
the
that
premise.
on?
I actually don't know that.
Have you
Is
not
that
played
new?
the South Park games?
I really haven't.
fun.
I've never. I haven't
about the
seen.
old
I haven't
one.
seen Bigger, Longer, Uncut, and I have not.
That
Play
sounds
the
so bad out of context. I've never
give
seen
you it
Bigger, Longer.
I've
Uncut,
definitely seen
man.
Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, but I have not seen the South Park production.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I mean, it's set up like the show. So like if you're moving, it's like 3D kind of like you'll move forwards, backwards, left and right.
I
but
know how to describe it, but I
just
can't think of the
all
words right
flat.
now. I know the phrase, but I can't think of it right now.
And the fighting in it, it's actually pretty fun. It's not like, you're not pressing like X to punch or like, Y kick, like all that moving around. It's like you're in squares, and then you have like certain, like if you hit X, like someone 3 squares ahead of you, you can hit them with something, or like, yeah, that kind of thing. Which, I don't know, it's actually pretty fun. It's different than like other games I've been playing, so yeah, that's actually pretty damn fun. But yeah, I mean, that's what I've been doing. Other than that, I don't know. We're doing a puzzle, so I've been puzzling it up a little bit.
Wait, is that solo? You're doing a solo puzzle?
No.
Shaggy just woke up.
But these are boys' night ideas.
I mean,
Topic.
Doing
granted,
a puzzle,
no, my wife
dog.
wanted to do one. Yeah.
No.
No, my wife wanted to do one, and so she started. She does a lot more than I do. I do like,
Yeah.
I put like 2 of them together. I'm like, this is too hard. I'm not fucking doing this anymore. And so then I just leave it for her to do. So yeah.
Devin and his my Devin and his fiance, they started getting into puzzles too. I think that's
Yeah,
like
it's on our
very
coffee
interesting.
table
Not a
right now,
lot
and I have
to
to
do
put
in
my feet
Corvallis, man.
around. Yeah. I have to put my feet around the puzzle pieces, which is kind of annoying, but it's looking good. Pizza order, yeah, dude, I'd go with that Domino's. I mean, I used to, but I think I got just too sick of it. But I get Domino's with Philly cheesesteak and sausage.
So cheesesteak is
that was the
fine,
move.
Yeah.
but not barbecue.
The Philly
No, because
cheesesteak
it
is
still had the
delicious.
like marinara base.
Yeah.
It just didn't have barbecue sauce on there, which should only be for like a pulled pork sandwich or ribs or anything other than a pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza.
So yeah.
Maybe it's like a
Any
David and a
questions?
normal thing. I think it's like a normal people sort of thing, I feel like
What?
barbecue sauce on pizza is just kind of
It's too foreign.
it's for the crazies. They can have that.
Chaba's the one that introduced me to it.
Well, that makes
that
sense.
makes
That
sense.
tracks.
That's
You don't have to say
Yeah, no,
anything.
that 100% tracks.
I was like, oh, this is.
You don't
I'm not gonna say it.
want
but this
to
is
be
good.
on Chaba's side on this podcast generally.
Yeah,
I know. I'm
He
talking
has
about his
painted
pizza
himself.
taste. I'm not talking about his politics or tech, any of that stuff. I'm talking food. It's
But
good.
yeah, I don't do it as much anymore because I just got way too sick of it. But that would be the general, probably like a year or 2 ago.
I like it.
Solid shit. Solid shit.
Solid
So you
shit. Not
Hell
that
yeah.
solid after Domino's.
you haven't ordered pizza in like a year and a half.
No, just not that one. I've been ordering, but like from different places.
What do you
but I haven't
get?
Done enough. Well, the last one was actually Pizza Hut, and we did like the deep dish, and it had the cheese sticks and it had the cinnamon sticks as well, and it was just one big ass box of it.
So can
And
you
that
describe
shit
deep
smacked.
dish?
You want me
Yeah,
to describe that shit
It's
for
like
you?
a
Go ahead.
bowl of red sauce.
No. So they
on a
section it
pizza
out all
form.
nice for you. You get that nice deep dish with the crispy crust. I think we got pepperoni and chicken on that shit, dude. Like, just beautiful, I'm not Italian, so, like, I can just say whatever that I want about pizza and not, have my mom slap me or something. So, that one's pretty good. And then
Okay.
the cheese sticks are really good.
I was like, I'm looking at Dan and Shaggy. I'm like, does this make sense to you guys? I'll go along
I
with it.
feel
It's
like
not
he's
wrong.
definitely gone off of the question at this point. Jeremy just wanted to know what a deep dish
He's
pizza
talking
is,
about
dude.
Italian moms beating their kids.
Oh, you wanna know
he's
deep
like,
dish?
yeah, I'm not
Oh.
gonna get slapped by my mom, but like,
No, okay, deep dish is just pizza. It's generally, like, square, and it's just thicker. Kind of fluffier.
I'm not gonna say it. Okay, thank you for. I do it with square. Thank you.
Oh,
Y'all a bunch of squares.
it has a lot more sauce on it, Jer.
Yeah.
I'll put more
It's
sauce
like a
on it.
bowl of sauce.
yeah,
and
it's
cheese.
it's like a really thick pizza.
Yeah.
Do they have
You
like
eat it with a fork.
barbecue deep dish?
Just
Yeah, for the diabetics.
On to the next topic. On to the next topic.
Welcome to the weekly news. On election day, 43 monkeys escaped from a compound used for medical research in South Carolina. Who wants to make the joke?
Insert it.
Did they vote?
So, they must have. I mean, I imagine what other
they
reason are
illegals?
monkeys breaking out on election day from their medical research facility? Was South Carolina a swing state?
No.
No.
North Carolina was. But
Not in the slightest. North Carolina was though, yeah. So maybe
was
they
part of
made
the
their way up
seven.
north.
So 43 new Trump voters.
There it is.
Bunch
Anyways,
of right-wing
they're-
monkeys.
they're from Venezuela.
43 Chapas escaped a lab.
Dude. Could you imagine that? That's terrifying.
Oh, well, that can't be true. It says they're not infected with any disease whatsoever. They're harmless and a little skittish.
That's what they
Random
want
men
you to
don't
think.
stick it in their tailpipes.
Oh. But they're, I guess, like 7 pounds, young and small. They haven't actually been used for any testing yet. And the employees are just wandering around town trying to entice them with food to come back.
Dude, there's some like clips on Twitter, like people just recording like on video. You like see these guys, the researchers just running around looking for monkeys.
Oh, so you've seen this then?
Yeah,
Shit, there's video?
yeah, on Twitter.
Ooh.
Dude, Twitter has
Everything.
I mean,
Twitter.
I hate Elon Musk.
X.com, the
but
everything app?
No, I'll
Yeah,
never.
what'd you say? What's
Twitter
Twitter?
has everything.
Again, I
No.
see someone die almost every day.
You got to work on that, dude. I got very invested in the like data for the election, and that's 90% of my algorithm now. You like it'll focus on what you focus
That
on. So
sounds
you
like
keep clicking on dead bodies, Dan.
Exhausting. Well,
It's
yeah,
gonna
it's
keep
because I
doing
want to.
that.
Why? I want to figure
Well,
out
then
what it is.
you're telling the basic algorithm like I like dead bodies, and then it just puts them back in your feed.
You know what else I found on X.com?
Porn.
This first story for Peanut the squirrel.
Yeah.
So, a New York man turned a rescued squirrel into a social media star called Peanut. And the New York authorities basically broke into his house with a search warrant for this Instagram famous squirrel, handcuffed him and brought him outside. He had to be escorted back into his bathroom if he wanted to use that while they were taking his squirrel and pet raccoon and taking them away. I think they euthanized them. So, yeah, pretty fucked up. I don't want, I mean, anybody thoughts on Peanut the squirrel and the New York authorities?
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Like, why is it bad to have a squirrel, but like you can have like another rodent as a pet and no one bats an eye? Like squirrels, what do squirrels carry diseases generally?
I mean, everything carries diseases. So,
Like 40
Well, yeah, but it's not like the
chocolate.
plague with groundhogs.
yeah, I
So
think they wanted to test him for rabies, but still, come on now. I like, if he's not foaming at the mouth, what?
yeah, I knew someone that had a pet squirrel, but it was like a flying squirrel. Yeah,
That's neat.
Dude. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with that.
Where do you get a flying squirrel from?
I don't know. I think they rescued it. I think it like I've seen it too. I've seen like rescue squirrels where it's like they fall out of the trees because dude, those things are ferocious with each other.
Yes, Shaggy?
And yeah,
It's a rescue squirrel.
dude, what's wrong with a rescue squirrel?
That's what Peanut was.
Do you know the
deep?
deeper conspiracy behind the Peanut story though, Dan?
No.
Oh god,
Jared,
what is it?
fill
Dude,
us in.
Twitter has like made me fully aware of everything. this
X.com, the
week.
everything.
Fully aware.
Unironically. So the guy, the Peanuts owner, he has an OnlyFans.
Oh,
And yeah, with his wife.
storing some nuts for winter.
And there's a lot of theories that I just got pinged 100 times, but there's a lot of theories that he let this happen on purpose so he got more traction to his OnlyFans. He made$800,000 last month on OnlyFans with his wife.
What are his?
Are
videos?
they hot?
I did. I don't keep
People
shaming,
are
but,
joining this OnlyFans just because they want to know more about the squirrel.
Justice for
well,
the
it's more
squirrel.
like it got his name out there, right? And now his name's like everywhere on the news. And so if you Google him, you find his OnlyFans.
Wait a second.
Was the squirrel in the videos?
Mark
I don't think
Longdale.
so.
back
The
in-
squirrel was really famous though too. Like it had its own
On
page or whatever.
OnlyFans?
No, maybe. You know, I don't think they
Let's
allow
see his nuts.
bestiality. I don't think it had a huge Instagram page or whatever, and they used that like traction to get to their OnlyFans. So there's a
Oh,
bunch of drama going on there. Like yeah, and so like the joke is now,
I could see this
Fuck.
guy being in porn.
yeah,
He
I
is
haven't seen what he
fit.
looks like.
He is muscular. Mark Longo is the name you gotta look up.
Dude, that could be his porn name too. Shit.
Mark Longo wife. Let's see. I mean, Shaggy would watch this.
What?
Shaggy's just looking
Lot
at
of
the
tattoos.
ground.
Thought about the bus
Yeah?
like that.
That seems like a Shaggy move.
Does it? You know my girlfriend listens to this podcast.
Whose fault is that? Honestly, let's
mean,
think about this.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm not editing it unless you really ask for it. You're actually welcome to edit as much as you like, Shaggy.
Just don't edit out my intro. It started good.
Guys, any more notes on Peanut the squirrel?
Wait, so what did they kill the raccoon too?
What?
Did they kill the raccoon too?
For sure. I mean, he's gone. If they take and kill the squirrel, they're gonna kill the raccoon,
This world's fucked up.
right? Just come in and take my pets.
Dude,
and
my
do
dad
things.
had a pet raccoon. Called him Rocky. He had him
Nice.
for like 5 years.
That's actually really. When was this?
It was when he was a kid.
Fun.
But yeah, he like had pictures with it too. It was like a family pet for a while. And he was like, he didn't do anything wrong. You know, he'd clean his hands too because they always do that shit. And like, he kept tidy.
That's all you
I don't
need.
see a problem with
Do
it.
they eat dog food or what? Scraps out of the trash?
I think so, actually. Yeah, I
Peanuts?
think it was dog food.
Peanuts and squirrels.
They eat squirrels. But yeah. No, at least from that, it didn't seem like it was a bad thing to have as a pet.
Fair enough. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of messed up. I don't want the
Yeah.
government taking my squirrels.
There were
Flying
so
back.
many like AI Twitter videos with the peanut shit with Trump, and I hope you never had to see those.
Nope, didn't come
They're
across those. I'm
Because
not
Elon
on
Musk
the,
retweeted them.
I'm not on the political hole. The more you click on those kind of things, Jared, the more you see them.
No, Elon Musk retweeted it, so it's on the front page when you
You need,
refresh.
you need a tea break from X.
I do. Like after the election day, I just laid in bed for like 12 hours. I was hungover though. I just like laid in bed for like 12 hours. That was bad.
And you're blaming the election for that.
Yeah,
That was your own bad decisions, Chair.
dude. I was like, I'll take a drink for every swing state. Yeah, not as bad as the 2016 one though. I still visibly remember Dev and I. We were taking 2 shots for every swing state, and then the last one was Pennsylvania. And then I woke up the
Oh.
next morning. That was
Nice.
that was the time.
As I've said earlier today, it's been a interesting and long and rough work week where I've worked way more than I'm used to, at least.
I'll
So
give you something interesting, long and rough.
yeah,
Mm.
I'm sure we all have at least a couple of these stories that we could talk about, but I just wanted to touch on some out of office messages that I've received this week, which has been really exciting when I have been just working all day. So I've got, thank you for your email. I'm currently out of office enjoying some rejuvenation time. That one was today, Friday at 5:30 when I sent the last email before we started this podcast. And that one really got me. That one I was like, rejuvenation time. You know what? Good for you, but like, fuck you, dude.
I mean, you're sending a late email on a Friday.
I know. I mean, I get it that he's out of office. He's been out of
Yeah.
office all day, but still.
You just saw someone being happy, and you're like, "Fuck you."
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm the one that's supposed to be happy.
You had your like month day.
Yeah, I know.
Your happiest month.
The next one I've got is, hi, wave emoji. Thanks for reaching out. I'm currently unavailable, having a great time attending workshops and maybe a few freebies at the SASE conference. I'm excited to connect with other professionals in the field and learn from industry experts. And that's what, did AI write that?
God, dude.
Who's that
So
excited to go to a
fucking lame.
conference?
That's like a C-level manager excited.
That's the
for
dude that sat at the
conference.
front of the class and asked every question.
Fucking,
God. I do not want to know that person.
I again envy them. They seem excited
Yeah.
about their work.
It's just the timing, you know. You're legally allowed to be frustrated, right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, to finish that one. In the meantime, enjoy the fall weather and be cozy.
That would piss me off.
Uh,
That's the line. That's the last line. You're like, I'm at a conference. Toodaloo. In the meantime.
The final
great.
one I've got here is, again, from that same person, but from a different trip.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I want to feel the anger in your voice.
I've got hi exclamation point. Thank you for your messki. I'm on an adventure in Europe, and my brain cells are currently busy soaking up sunshine, attempting new languages (parentheses with questionable success), and probably getting lost at least once a day. Your emails are safe (parentheses for now), and I'll be back in the office on July 8th and ready to tackle them all (parentheses with a slight caffeine hangover, comma perhaps).
This sounds like, and they're doing with, all love and intention, but like a boomer in their midlife crisis that's learning how to type.
They love
language.
showing you pictures of their cats.
She
Yes.
is
100%.
28.
Or that. It was going to be one or the other. It was that or Zoomer.
Have you
That's not
talked to
really
her
one.
face to face before? Is
Yeah.
she okay conversationally, or
Seems very normal in
She's
an
just
office
excited.
setting.
Yeah. Like if this wasn't on a Friday after you just worked 60 hours, it'd be like, whatever.
Exactly.
But yeah,
It's-
like fuck that.
Anybody else have a fun out of office or work kind of related story to go along with this, or shall we just go straight into talking about Jeremy? What'd you have, Jer?
Yeah, so like drank a lot on the election night, right? And then I had the 7 a.m. meeting the next day. And my new group is only Polish boomers. So it's a small group of 7, and they're all just old Polish boomers. So I get in, I'm hungover, try to crack a joke about the election, and they just stare at me. Like I've never made a comedic joke in my life. And this is 7 a.m., I'm hungover, and I'm just like, fucking kill me.
Everyone on your team is Polish?
Yeah. So
What?
Yeah, like I said, there's a huge split in the departments. So yeah, because they don't have a DevOps SDE
The Poles
guy.
and the non-Poles, and you got put with the
Yeah.
Poles? Or-
yeah. So they're super nice, but it's just I couldn't like crack a hungover election joke. They're like, huh? And I'm like, that was supposed to land, and I'm like, fucking. It was, and this is my second day with these guys too. So that was bad.
Election joke day 2, bold choice.
Hey,
doesn't have a good sense of humor? So maybe in that area of Europe, it's not. I don't know.
yeah,
they
no,
don't
it
joke
was
as much.
very like all the jokes we make in the morning are just like I had a bad night with my wife, I'm just like, yeah, ha.
It's the polite thing.
It's bad. The
laugh.
stand-ups
Yeah.
are bad. Cool guys.
It's one of those ones where you're like, haha, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So that that's about it. I don't know. I'm lost now, Dan.
We're going to talk about
Where are
you,
we going?
Okay.
but first we're going to insert some music. All right, Jeremy. Welcome to the weekly meeting. This is your first time on. You've already been pretty much introduced through either different stories about you or being in the first 3/4 of this episode. So,
Yeah.
Bro.
give me the 30-second summary of Jeremy.
Hi guys. I'm Jeremy.
Retake. Cut it. Cut that out. We didn't have that.
I still had to show the awkward Jeremy because that's how like Dan first met me. I was just like,
even.
hi.
Hi
You know,
guys.
that-
Holy shit.
You made
the
Shaggy
point.
snort. That was good.
if you can't laugh at yourself, what's the point?
Oh.
You know? I love my awkwardness at times. But
All right, Jer.
yeah,
30 seconds of Jer. What?
yeah. So I met Dan in college, just like majority of everyone on this podcast, freshman year. Fucked, and we're like, we'll stay better as friends. And I was the only guy in that hallway in the CS department. Everyone else was an engineer.
Nerd.
Fucking pricks. But besides that, I'm huge into online gaming. Very knowledgeable on that shit. Software developer. Hit the gym. I'm on that huge health grind right now with super healthy foods, low carb. Yeah, that's about it. Also, big shoulders. That's about it.
Oh,
That's my
them
brand.
boulders, bro.
That's my brand.
Here, have you measured your shoulders yet and seen where they rank amongst the biggest of boulders out there?
I figured it out. So this is slight cope, but this is science. Why? Because I just have genetically just very wide shoulders. Like if you just look at them by themselves, they're not that big, but because my arms are so small
Check
and they're
your
so
shoulder
wide,
privilege.
they just look massive. So that's my brand.
Hot.
They're big on my body. If I put them on David's body, they would not be big. That's a compliment. It means you
Yeah,
have
they'd
big
be
arms.
small, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
They work for me.
Shaggy, tapping your fingers.
No.
Okay.
Technically, I met Jared back in high school. Like, I'm pretty sure we had a couple classes together, and we were in the same graduating class, but we didn't actually
Yeah.
meet until like you came over to my house one time with Dan.
Yeah, that drinking night.
Yeah.
Those
That's how it usually went.
most of my hobbies.
Yeah,
Those my
no,
hobbies. Don't do that anymore
place.
except for tonight.
Same. Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jer. So you are essentially a part-time resident of Breckenridge.
Like a timeshare owner, but like, yeah.
I see.
I would say.
I think part-time
I know the
resident sounds a
place.
lot cooler. I'm going to stick with it. I'll
Well,
let you
that's
do what
yours?
you want.
No, well, I'm technically an owner now after I turned 18.
Family.
Yeah, but yeah, parents got it a while back. They got it like 30 years ago, so we've been there a while.
And
Real quick, Jerry, I'm just thinking of, because you were in the living room when Matt came up and he went to the bathroom and we just kept hearing like banging in there and he was in
Dude,
there for like
I legit
30
had a
minutes.
panic attack. That was
Yeah,
like I
'cause-
thought he died, and then
I
he's like,
thought so
"I'm
too.
fine."
I
And
just
I'm
kept-
like,
but I'd, like,
"I'm not dude
hear-
bro enough for this."
Yeah,
I'm
I just
freaking
hear like
out.
bang and I was like, what the fuck? And then I'd keep hearing it. I'm like, okay, something's up. And so
That's
I
what-
went to the bathroom. I like opened the door. I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I just keep falling." I'm like, "That's a problem. Like, you're
And-
sober right now. You
Because
didn't
I was
drink
in the
anything."
because I was
He's
in
like,
the
"Yeah,
master bedroom. It was right
Yeah.
next to the bathroom they were at, and it was so loud. Like I thought like I got shot because I was in the middle of sleep.
you thought you got shot?
It was that loud, like an explosion in the middle of my dream, and then you
Yeah.
just hear this "ugh,"
Yeah.
and then I was like, "Someone's barking." Like,
Yeah,
that shit was
that was.
terrifying.
I was like, "What the fuck?" And then he went to the doctor. Thankfully, he was like, "Yeah, I guess I just needed like more iron intake." What the fuck? How old are we?
The amount of vitamins I'm on right now, bro. Holy
Oh my
shit.
god. Yeah, he just. But the thing is, he just shrugged it off so easily. I'm like, if I
Yeah.
was passing out and constantly like hitting
While on the toilet.
tables and the toilet,
Like he legit fell over head first
Yeah.
onto the toilet.
and he's a tall motherfucker too,
Yeah.
so it was like a long way down, and it was more than like twice. So that's yeah,
Who?
It was scary, dude.
yeah.
Who is
The guy
this?
that's
Shaggy.
bald now, it's Matt.
Back to Jeremy.
But anyway,
He just wanted to relive a story.
That's fair. No, that's,
that's all I could think with it.
I have a note here in the agenda, Jer. What are the best kept secrets as a part-time resident? What are the things you
Okay.
go to that other people don't know about that we can give to the 38 listeners of this podcast?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Top
grown.
podcast in Pakistan. But so not many people know this because the awful marketing, awful advertising. But I like when I'm in the hot tubs or whatever at the bar at our time resort. I can always tell when someone's there for their first time. I always like bring this up to them, and there's a lot of times they thank me and give me like a drink because they're like, "That's sick," and then they just buy me a drink.
Okay.
A lot of riz with this one, but they have an absinthe bar downtown. Like it's super hidden. It's in the basement. It's super old school, super old vibes. Like there's like alien tits like painted kind of vibe. like painted in the set. Like I'm not even kidding, right? And it's huge setup, and it's like it's expensive, right? Like $30 a drink or whatever, right? But it's like the whole process, right? Like they have the giant thing, they have the ice cubes, they have the fire, and they just pour. Oh, man. It's brilliant. And
So
you
they're
legit
like
have
distilling
one-
your absinthe in front of you, or I
Yeah.
guess I don't know how absinthe is made necessarily, but
or
There's
never
no
really
fire.
remember much.
I'm not sure what the fire's about, but
They ignite a fire to melt
the
something.
ice.
Yes. To
Okay.
melt the ice.
That
Yes.
seems a little extra.
That's what I'm saying. But it's so cool.
If you're 30, okay, yeah. No, it's
And
fine.
like if you go with
you're
a
in
big
Breckenridge,
group,
Shag.
yeah.
Pay
If
for
you
the
go with
experience.
yeah, and like I said, when you're at altitude, one drink. What is that?
well, absinthe
Okay,
is a
one-
notoriously
it's also
strong
absinthe.
spirit too. Like it's, yeah. I'm pretty experienced with absinthe. It's good. I like absinthe a lot.
Did you know if you spit it into a fire, it burns green?
Does it?
It's called Seeing the Fairy.
Show you.
They have one there that's called the edible. That's $100, and they say it will make you trip. Out.
Ooh.
I mean, absinthe
Never tried it. 'cause
does
it's
anyway.
$100.
No,
Yeah.
that was actually propaganda in the 1920s. But yeah.
All right, Jer.
You just derailed me.
Sorry.
But anyways, it's all good. You you go out for a night drink because elevation's nuts. You just have 2 of those. You don't do any more drinks afterwards. You will get to like a 9 out of 10 drunk.
Two
Off
of those $60 later.
Yeah, that's it. That's the experience.
You're in
man.
Breckenridge.
Dude.
Yeah.
You are solidly 9 out of 10 drunk for 3 or so hours, and then you sober up and you feel clean. Like it cleanses the toxins from your system, and then you wake up the next day like healthier, like real shit. But if you drink more afterwards, you're fucked. Like one of my friends like went up there. I warned them, don't have any more drinks after this. Right, we're gonna be it's totally fine. Then in 3 hours, sober up, be in bed. We're gonna feel great tomorrow morning. He of course had like 3 margaritas afterwards. You know, doesn't listen.
So
to me.
I mean, that he
was
was
hungover
like,
for,
yeah, I drank some absinthe and then had 3
Yeah.
cups of sugar.
He was hung because altitude's a lot worse, right? He was hungover for like 2.5 days.
Oof.
And I woke up, I felt great. I had energy. Like it literally flushes the toxin. Like if you go in there, like you have a little like runny nose or whatever, it gets rid of it. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it literally cleanses the toxins from your system there.
I don't want to say I'm skeptical, but
Try it. Try it and then toxins.
I'll give it
'Cause
a
I've done
shot.
now
I'll cleanse
5
my
times.
toxins.
100%. And everyone is just so excited because they're like, what the fuck's an absinthe bar? And then I describe it. Then they go down there. And then, because like at the timeshare, right? Then you see them at the bar the next day. They're like, dude, that was fucking awesome. I'm like, hell yeah. You know, this is a cool
Beautiful.
thing to have. If you're in Breckenridge and you're there for more than a few nights, find that absinthe bar. 'Cause they don't market it.
A little
as an
brekkie with
absinthe
the
bar.
boys.
Yeah.
Breckenridge? We going to Breckenridge?
Well, you were there, Dan, for a
I
few
do like
nights.
Breckenridge. I like Jeremy's timeshare.
Brecken's
It's
fun.
sick.
We spoiled you with that. Whatever that food you got. We went
It was
to that
awesome.
super fancy restaurant.
They gave us like a taxi there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got like the moose. Was it moose? What'd you eat?
No, I think it was. I think I got. Was it elk? No, I don't remember. It was lamb. It was lamb. It was the lamb shanks, lamb chop, the shank with the rib in it or whatever that is. Delicious.
Absolutely brilliant. And then I would say for ski, because it is a ski resort. Mine is the absinthe. The best runs are in the trees on Peak 6. It's not on the map, and you just get lost in those. That's where the good snow is. There's never lines. You get lost. That's the secret. There's jumps there. There's moguls, trees, and no fucking 6-year-olds. It's great.
Beautiful. All right, Jer. So the other thing, as you mentioned, you're into gaming. You were competitive. You are competitive gaming.
Yeah.
What is? Yeah.
100%. It's like, especially now, like the relaxed job, like we've taken it. I mean, we're still like we're still like toddlers compared to pros, but we're
Okay.
still. I think we're ranked like top like 0.1% right now. where we're
Okay.
at right now, which that's cool because that's like a couple million play. Like, is there much you can say you're like the 0.1 best percent at it?
No.
I got that for a March Madness bracket I did once.
That's huge.
Oh, that
So
actually is
that was
huge.
something.
That's very
Yeah.
notable.
Dude,
Yeah.
I think I was like 20,000 out of, I think it was 8 million.
That's a pretty
That
good
was like
bracket. That's a solid bracket.
99.9 something. That was nuts.
So Jer, you're 0.1%, but you never said which game this is.
Yeah, well, he was going to conversation. I was waiting my turn, getting my flow in.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's I just checked the other day because it's been about I started playing it from middle school, but Counter-Strike, I'm about 8,000 hours in that shit now.
I don't actually know how many hours I have in any games, but I think the most is maybe 400. So
Yeah.
that's a good.
No, it's
amount of-
weird. You can like get to the 1,000 hour mark fairly okay-ish in other games, but past that. But yeah, no. Okay, so we're gonna try describe the beauty here, Dan, but we have to go baby box. Like,
Okay.
I can't just go crazy technical.
Well, yeah, I don't think
Like, that
I
would
don't
be
think any of
crazy.
us will know what you're talking about. And
Exactly,
so that
so-
means probably our like listener audience base will know. Even
Except the
less.
one guy, the Pakistan guy.
He
who
knows.
played. He knows.
He lives it.
Okay, so
Oh no.
Anyway, continue.
bomb is planted. Anyways,
Heyo.
so we all know how Call of Duty Search and Destroy works,
Okay.
right? You have 2 teams. You plant the bomb, defuse the bomb. You shoot people. You get 1 life. Basic premise: Call of Duty Search and Destroy. But what's magic about this had the same formula for 20 plus years, and people still play it.
Okay.
Right? Like Call of Duty, it's kind of the same formula, but they still have a new game every year. Counter-Strike is the exact same, minus like some engine upgrades.
no
for the
maps
past
have
20
changed or
years.
what?
Maps have been added, maps have been changed, but I don't know how deep, like, if you understand, like, like, if you understand community servers, anything like that, but because it's a Valve game, people can host whatever they want. So there's probably like 5,000 maps that people have made. Like, there's workshops,
Okay.
all of that. So that's why, besides just the main competitive component of it, there's like hundreds of different game modes
Okay.
that people have made. Like,
So they've allowed
some-
their player base to like edit the game and continually upgrade it essentially.
exactly. And that's part of like reason it's so fucking crazy. Like, when I'm like, people have like made a Skyrim, and you can play it in Counter-Strike.
So how has the creators of Counter-Strike continued to make money then?
Like,
Or do
the
they just don't care?
developers,
Yeah, the developers, whoever's the people that own
Skins.
the game.
They make, I think the last article, like $15 million a month on those skins.
Wow.
It's 100% gambling. 100% is getting little kids addicted.
How so? What does that mean? Explain how that works.
Okay, so you know like how case openings work?
Like loot
Like a-
boxes?
Yeah, loot box.
Okay.
Yeah. It was basically like the loot box before loot box.
So
But-
explain to everybody from again the
Yeah,
feeding
yeah.
water through a fire hose or whatever. What is
Yeah.
a loot box?
So in Counter-Strike, you can get different skins for your weapons.
Okay.
Right. And so loot boxes, you spend IRL Dolores, although you can sometimes make a profit, but that's not the point of this. And then they'll have a box, right? And they'll have like 20 different skins in it or whatever. And you just open it and you try to get the rarest shit. It's literally just gambling. Like when you go to a lottery machine or a gambling machine, you just click a button and you try to get like 777.
Okay.
Right?
And then-
always the shittier skins have higher percentages. And all like like there are some knives that you can open from a case that are worth $40,000.
And you can sell these skins
Yep,
and such
for
to
real
people.
money. Yeah, it's huge. Especially when crypto came out, they got heavily invested in that. 100% money laundering.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how is this not just
Like-
money laundering? What?
There's like someone has an inventory. There's like a whole article about this like a few years ago. Like definitely a Saudi prince or whatever. They have it in crypto for their Counter-Strike skins. I think it's worth like $4 million.
That's so it's just
Of
it's
just
it's shockingly
weapon
like
skins.
silly to me. I get what like Call of Duty has done with their battle pass kind of setup and where you can buy skins through them as well. I'm sure they make tons of money off of that. But
But
it's
those
just
are
wild to me.
locked into that system.
Yeah.
You can never sell those or trade those or make money back from that.
So how I guess, is there a reason that this isn't regulated? Is there not?
Oh, there's been lots of lawmakers that have tried, but Valve is a multi-billion-dollar company.
Okay.
They basically shut them down. They've had to do some adjustments, like there's like a 2-week period, so you can't instantly put this on a website for gambling if you unlock a rare skin or whatever, right? So they have
Okay.
like delays, so like it's not bot infested. Like before, it got so bad like 8 years ago. Like the bots would just follow the market, and if something was just under 5%, like someone put on the market, the bot would automatically buy it up.
So it's just stock trading, but with a smaller user base.
No, like seriously, it's like fucking insane. And like people have entire careers like on data science just for skin betting.
That's pretty
Man,
creative.
imagine being on a first date and somebody's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And be like, "Oh, I'm a skin better."
Wait, where are you going? No, let me explain.
Wait.
That's how they make their money. That's not the beauty of Counter-Strike.
What would you call yourself if you are? What would be the legit business name for that? Like, I am a
they call them like
investor.
Yeah, online investor for esports data science. Because
That's
is
still
like,
a red flag, honestly.
Yeah, there's some weird communities there, and like there's obviously been the controversies like other sports where like teams got caught throwing for skins or whatever and get banned. And we haven't had that in like 4 years, but like 10 years ago when it first came out and it was unregulated, it was bad. It was like the only thing you'd hear about on the news besides, oh, this game is bad because it makes terrorists look good. Which people,
Whoa.
That's the headline. No, that's not what happens. But you know how the headline gets the click, right? Because there's a terrorist, they have to plant a bomb. You get to play the terrorist.
Okay,
that right
sense.
there is getting us from number 5 to number 4 in Pakistan.
Oh.
There we go.
You're welcome.
What?
But,
What was that, Shaggy?
What?
what?
Oh?
Anyway, like let's just go to the mechanics. I don't want to talk about the fucking history of this
Yeah,
shit.
tell us,
mechanics.
give us some more of the
let's
basic
talk.
breakdown of Counter-Strike.
Let's talk
Why-
aimbotting, all right? Let's talk what you actually do in this fucking game. Like,
Cheating is a really, really bad issue right now. Like you have to go through a third-party service if you want to not punch your head in a wall. Because
That's way too much work just to get online and play the game.
When you're in the upper top 1% or whatever, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, dog. You ever played
I
Club
gotta
Penguin?
flex that shit. Oh yeah, in middle school.
Would you cheat in Club? How do you cheat in Club Penguin?
Probably like an auto clicker.
Just have a Microsoft task that runs every.
Yeah. But it's like how people talk about like there's a huge This sounds cringy, but there's like articles on this shit. But like they compare like Counter-Strike to chess.
Okay.
And I'm trying to forget about the phrase. So in chess, what's beauty about it? Like minus the simplicity, right? It's been the same thing for hundreds of years, and people are still finding new ways what to do in the mind games. But in chess, you can see everything on the board, and it's all about reading your opponent and expecting what they're gonna do.
Okay.
Counter-Strike, you don't see everything. And that's what makes it so. I mean, this is like all like basic FPS shooters, but it's the tacticalness of Counter-Strike which you won't get in Call of Duty.
Okay.
Call of Duty is brilliant movement-based mechanics, brilliant like shooting things, but it doesn't have the deeper strategical analysis shit that Counter-Strike does. Like, just for a basic example, like this just happened 2 months ago. I'll try to keep it simple, but talk about the complexity of it. Right? Like the same game has been out for 20 years,
okay.
Right? Like, search and destroy for 20 years, okay? And you know how grenades work, right? In Call of Duty, you can throw flashes, you can throw grenades, Molotovs, whatever. Counter-Strike, it is a completely different ball game. You have to learn so imagine I have a smoke grenade,
okay,
right? And there's a lineup where I can throw this specific smoke, and it will smoke off something on the completely other side of the map.
Okay, so it's knowing your angles and the maps really well, so
insanely well.
Okay.
And then knowing just based off that, what can you do with just that little basic of knowledge? You throw that smoke. Does that mean I'm going to that site? Does that mean I'm just faking the enemy? Does that mean I'm going back this way? Does it mean I'm trying to create pressure? Does it mean I'm trying to make the enemies rotate this direction? Just that one simple thing that you did can have 20 different reasons and and that's just one thing. Just one. All right? Super basic shit there, and they have 4 different type of grenades. So you can imagine, and let's say you're playing with a team of 5 because it's a 5v5. You have like 5 people throwing nades. Like, what does that do to the enemy? Like, how do they react off that? How do you beat them in the mind games? Because how do you become too predictable? How do you become not too predictable? And it just becomes this mind game shit, which is just brilliant. And that's where a lot of the comparisons come with the chess piece, where you're trying to just outsmart your opponents. Like, yeah, if you're like going against shitters, you can just out aim them. You know, just hold W, wide swing, boom, they're dead, right? And then that's still pretty fun because the shooting mechanics of Counter-Strike are, no FPS will ever make you feel like that when you hit a good shot. I've played a lot of FPSs, so I could say this. All right, like
what is different? Like, what are the aiming mechanics and how is it different?
So, right, like you can hop onto Call of Duty, and in a few hours you can be decent enough to like out aim like basically anyone. It just becomes who got there first, who had the better angle, right? Like shooting Call of Duty is fairly simple. You just hold down, pew pew, dead. Right? There's no recoil control.
Okay.
There's nothing like that. Counter-Strike, you can have like hundreds of hours and still be absolutely dog shit at shooting a rifle because they have recoil control. And so let me see if I can try to. So for guns, and it's different for each gun. I'm gonna try to. So let's say you play Call of Duty, you shoot a gun, there's a little bit of recoil. You know you have to drag down just a little bit after a few bullets to maintain the recoil.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike, like we'll go to the hardest one, which is the AK-47. Like this is my mouse. I have to drag all the way down like this, and then you have like a left and right, and then back down a little bit, and then like that.
Okay. So it's a lot more precise. There's a lot more to learn on.
Extremely.
Okay.
Like you have to spend hours just shooting a wall, learning the spray pattern.
That sounds. It's training. It's training for a sport.
Yeah, which is why like once you become decent enough and you watch what pros are able to do, it's an entirely different ball game. Like it's insane. Like the Call of Duty pros, they're insane because their kind of game is like it's more just based off pure reflexes and movement rather than like slow, precise timings and outsmarting the other enemy. Right?
Okay.
Like I could get on Call of Duty. I'll still get shit on by a pro, but there's still going to be times like I get lucky, I outflank them, I have a better angle, and I can shoot them. You put a Call of Duty pro onto Counter-Strike, he might get 1 kill.
Because he doesn't have the overall, for one, experience and just overall knowledge of how to handle the maps and the weaponry.
It's more just of like how hard Counter-Strike is so hard to learn.
Okay.
Like the learning curve for Counter-Strike sucks, especially with the whole cheater situation now too. Like I don't think I could get anyone into it right now. Like it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to be a high schooler where you can just play 5-6 hours every single day with a bunch of bros with nothing better to do in their life and get good at it. Right? Like hopping in now just sucks. It's the skill ceiling of Counter-Strike is only I would say StarCraft can match it. It's that insane. Like some of the pros are at 15,000 hours and they're still not the best.
Fitting. And you're only at half that, so that makes it that's a lot of hours.
No, you that's like you're like 0.1%. If you ever have to face like a pro in just a random game or whatever, you will see it's like they're shooting toddlers. Like still, so like I'm like 0.1%, okay, and I'm like, damn, I'm so fucking good at this game.
Fucking 6-year-olds.
You go against a
pro,
toddlers. And it's like you have never touched the game in your life. So just think about like being at like 7,000 hours or something.
I've never personally
you can go against
myself
someone,
as a toddler, but
yeah, no, and you can go against someone and they make you feel like you've never done that before.
That's fair. That's fitting.
Like, that's how insane the skill ceiling is. It's absolutely bonkers because it's just so hard with the shooting mechanics and then the movement itself, counter strafing, like you swing this way and then like if you instantly like do this and then shoot. On their screen, it looks like you're shooting or you're moving, but on your screen, you stopped and shot. It's insane, the deep intricacies of it. That's why, like, what other video game, the same formula is still around 20 years later?
That's fair.
It's
Gary's
insane.
mod.
Like once you get
Gary's
addicted.
mod.
I wouldn't call that a competitive deep shooter, but if you understand Gary's mod, you understand the community aspect of that because that's the same engine as
Yeah.
Counter-Strike.
I'm aware.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Shaggy, you've been smirking to yourself over there. Do you have any questions, comments for Jer?
No.
I lost track. I got too excited.
No. I personally, I don't know, bro. I just want to like take you fishing. Like let's go. Let's go outside, dog.
I did go.
Jeremy does he's just very good at Counter-Strike.
I know you are, but like I don't know. I have played Counter-Strike, and I understand the skill ceiling, and I feel like that is the skill ceiling that you should not ever try to achieve.
People have hobbies.
I get you. Yeah. No, it's fun.
You got to think like if I like
It's
from
not
middle
for
school,
me.
It's been like 17 years to get to that.
That is a lot of
Exactly, yeah.
hours.
That's so
Like,
much.
that's-
That's so much.
Yeah.
It's a shitload.
I love
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I'm proud of it.
Yeah. No, you're cool.
I mean, you know, because it's like you don't have that passion in work right now. You got to find
yeah.
somewhere else.
So to get like Jared, to get into like the heavy, I guess, esports stuff.
Yeah.
Like for that game too, what percent do you need to be in, or like what's
0.001.
okay? And so how many teams would that like? What is it
Okay, so
generally for that? Is
we
it
go
like
the
like
esports
50
side now,
teams or
too.
something?
Because they're like multi-million-dollar salaries right now in Counter-Strike.
Oh, I bet.
Like it's insane. And like you know, you saw my photos when I went to like the esports stadium or whatever. But I would say there's 20 like top teams, like tier 2, 4 tier 1 teams, which are like the best of the best. But it's super competitive right now because it's a new meta, a lot of new stuff getting introduced. But there's probably like 200-300 teams, but it's only the top 30 that are salaried.
Hypothetically,
are
how would you even achieve that? You know, like if
Yeah.
you were trying to
So
get
if I
to
was
that
18
point and
years
get
old.
to that, yeah, right, yeah.
At my skill level, if I was 18 years old, so I still had a shit ton of room to grow, and I had way more confidence, you know, because you do get in your mind when you get older, and there's just always that like 8-year-old that just out aims you and just
what was
pisses you
that?
off.
Is that your
That's
There's a
dog?
dog.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just been asleep. Chopper, wanna say hi?
Chopper
Are you
boy.
gonna be like,
So to compare that to the NFL, I mean, 0.02%, 0.023% of high school football players make it to the NFL. So it's about,
Wow.
I guess, a
Yeah.
somewhat similar amount of player base versus top percentage. I guess, you know, it's the top people of the top thing of their top sport.
And compared to other esports, like I was able, like they had it on cable TV like 8 years ago. They did like this weird experiment. They put Counter-Strike on MTV for like a season,
Okay.
and I was able to get my mom into it after like 3 or 4 games. Like it's and she knows nothing about like the first game she watched, right? Because like as a spectator, they have like wall hacks on, so you can understand the game better from the spectator's point of view. So my mom's just like, "What's the point of this game if you just know what they're gonna do?" Which is like, one, that's crazy that she was like getting observation like that. But like, if you try to watch like pro StarCraft or like pro League of Legends, you don't understand anything going on unless you've really played the game. Or like Counter-Strike and Rocket League, like after a few games and you have someone helping you out and explaining stuff, like it's a very digestible esport. That's what I would say. You won't understand like the crazy deep intricacies or whatever. Like if I watch baseball compared to if Dan watches baseball, he could see a lot of shit there that I'm like, oh, they just hit a ball. Oh, they caught a ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's all I
But then you can see
I'm
the
still
movement
able
of
to
people, and
enjoy
you're
it.
like, oh, they're doing this move, they're doing this chess move,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. So that's what's beautiful about it. Compared why I don't like if you ever try to watch Pro Valorant, you're cooked.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like all that, try explaining that. Counter-Strike is just like, oh, like just go on that site, they're shooting people. A lot of people are screaming. That means a good play happened.
Fair
Simple.
enough. It's fun.
Yeah.
All right. I think we wrap up the Jeremy interview and cruise on for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But
Jared,
guys,
real quick,
oh,
I do actually have
Yeah.
a question. So is the Counter-Strike 2, is that basically the same thing that Overwatch did, where it's the same fucking game, but they just put a 2 in front of it?
Yeah, it's
Behind it,
brand new
behind it.
engine and graphics, and but yeah.
But it's the
Overwatch
same.
added one more player for their game mode, but it's like Counter-Strike is the exact same thing 20 years.
Okay.
so do people still use Counter-Strike 1?
I don't
No,
think you
they
can.
like they killed all their servers.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there's like the 60-year-olds on their boomer servers, but you don't want to join those.
Okay.
Unmoderated little pedophilia gang probably. Like it's weird.
Whoa.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird.
Let's end on that note, and
Yeah.
that is for this
Jesus.
weekly meeting.
All right, we'll wrap it there and move on to Brennan and Dean. So, guys, thanks for coming on. Jeremy, thank you for the insight into the world of Jer and Counter-Strike and Breckenridge
Yeah. Go to the absinthe bar.
and the Absinthe Bar. Shaggy, thank you for keeping us entertained with your glasses of whiskey.
You're very welcome.
And
It
David,
does look really good.
as always.
What? No props for me. No highlights.
Get a better mic. Get a better mic, and they might give you a highlight.
David, get a
Fuck
new
you,
mic.
bud.
No, primo pizza order, my guy. Other than it being from Pizza Hut.
Shut the fuck up.
But I thought Dan was with me on the barbecue.
I'm with Jer on the barbecue. I was
Okay.
criticizing David.
All right. Yeah, fuck your pizza, David.
You don't know.
Love you, David.
Tolerate you.
Thanks, guys. Let's keep it rolling.
If you're sticking around for Brennan's Sports Minute, go ahead and click over to the next episode, as we did a college football preview, and it's a little longer than the others, so we made it into a separate bit. So go ahead and go back to Spotify or YouTube or wherever you're listening and go to episode 20.5. Here's Dean.
This week in Fatherhood with Dean and Daddy. This week in Fatherhood. Dean is a daddy.
Shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Dean, welcome back on. This is, I went back and counted, I think, the 10th instance of This Week in Fatherhood on the
I like
20th episode of the weekly meeting. So,
Well,
yeah, welcome
means
back.
means I'm worth a dime here. That sounds great. Thank
Exactly.
you for having me.
What do you have for us this week? Is the inclusion of a dog in your picture and any kind of hint?
Good inclination. Yes, it is part of a hint. And this is hopefully
Dean?
this is a two-parter. The second part's to be determined, but hopefully is nothing of big news, but it could be a big news two-parter. So this is the
Okay.
story of one pacifier.
Okay.
My lovely son Benny isn't a huge pacifier kid yet, but he has one that kind of solves all of our problems. There are many like it, but this one is his. So it's kind of the one that we use when we lay him down if he's really grouchy, if he's fussy and needs to sleep, if he is not eating yet, like all the things. This is kind of like the one savior, is this one singular like blue-green pacifier.
The Holy Pacifier?
The Holy Pacifier, pulling it from the stone as if it were a sword. Yes.
Okay.
And so there is one night a week or two ago that we're having an all-time meltdown. I am like trying to change his diaper, and he is screaming, just like I've never heard him scream before, to the point where I leave him in the room to scream, and I go get my noise-canceling headphones and come back.
Okay.
But like, just he won't eat, he won't sleep. He's rubbing his eyes, which means that he can't sleep or eat because it's directly in the middle of all of these things. So we're having an all-time meltdown.
He's
saying
crying,
myself-
you're crying, Allie's crying, Hammond's crying.
Everyone's crying, everyone's ears hurt.
Okay.
And so I put him on the ground to change him so that we can go to bed. So the lights are dim. He's screaming. I'm changing his diaper, and I get this one pacifier, and I put it in, and he has what is just a massive poop. Like, if you can
Oh.
imagine a junkyard dog tears apart like a wet bag of Doritos, that's what the inside of this diaper looked like. There's your there's your visual for you Dorito eaters at the moment.
Like a whole bag, like one of the big bags of Doritos. You said it was massive poop.
Yeah, like family size.
This was as soon as you put the pacifier in?
No, this is the pacifier is going in now, and he's finally calming down enough that I can deal with this massive poop with some sort of quiet.
Okay.
So, finally does this as this is all like calming down, having this moment of like, I'm a good father, I'm a good father, I'm a good father. My dog comes and lays down next to me, which he does many nights, which is great. And our cat takes my seat, which he also does as is custom.
Mm-hmm.
So, pacifier's in his mouth, finally get him to calm down. I pick him back up to finish feeding him, and he won't really eat. And so I'm like, okay, let's start with the pacifier again. We'll come back to it. And I reach down for the pacifier, and it's gone, as is Hammond. So the dog's gone.
Oh.
The pacifier's gone. I told myself, maybe I put it in my pocket. Maybe I misplaced it. Maybe it rolled. I have no idea where this thing is. But we have found pacifiers in our dog's mouth before. So I'm thinking that Hammond ate the pacifier, which is going to lead
the Holy Pacifier,
which is going to lead to one of two things: either the one expensive surgery he gets for a lifetime, or he's going to poop it out, and we're going to find it in the yard in the spring, and I'm going to give it to Allie as a really nice anniversary present.
There you go. I mean, you know, maybe dunk it in some bleach first or something, but
up to you. But yeah, so I'm thinking that he hasn't been quite acting right, but not bad enough that we're like, we need to take him to the vet. So we have two issues, maybe an expensive surgery coming, and we have to sanctify another pacifier for our son. So
this is quite the little challenge wrinkle in the life of Father Dean. I mean, is this like, now I don't want to make it like blow it out of proportion, but this sounds like kind of a big hurdle.
It definitely could be. This could be either the beginning of the championship DVD, or this could be the beginning of the downfall of the family. So it really could go either way.
What an adventure, man. I don't imagine pacifiers have to be kind of made of break downable material, right? Or is the whole purpose that they get to sit in a mouth and get chewed on all day and not break down at all?
I think it's more of the second. And I also think that if you're designing these pacifiers and you don't really want a baby to be able to like take pieces off of it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that they're designed to pretty much be a one singular piece from now until the end of time. So like our dog's not small, so that helps us. If he was a tiny dog, I'd be way worried, but he's a big dog. He can do it. And again, the hard part is that if we don't find anything in like 3 weeks, we just assume that he passes it, in which case we're going to find a poopy pacifier in the yard someday, which is going to be really funny.
Or it's just sitting underneath a chair or something somewhere.
Dude, we have looked all over. Maybe that's it. Maybe when little Benny starts crawling, he'll find it someday and we'll be like, oh, that's where that one went.
That makes sense. That's kind of what I'm rooting for. That always seems to be the real way that things go, because I don't know. I've had dogs, I've had cats, and they like grab things and run off with them. Yep. And we always think they've eaten them. And then we're like, well, we never found it in their poop. We never saw this thing again until all of a sudden 3 months later, I'm underneath some weird, obscure portion of the couch cushion, and I find this thing that should never have any business being anywhere near there.
Right. Which could surely happen, and that's absolutely what I'm rooting for at the moment. But so now the question is, on the fatherhood side, are we going to have the same outcomes with our son? Like, is he going to take things and put them in his mouth and we're going to take him out, or is he going to try and digest them? And we got other issues too.
Big marble eater.
Batteries.
Batteries.
Oof.
Oh, nah. Just keep them away from the batteries and the magnets, and everything else tends to pass through.
Yeah, batteries are a big scary one for me at the moment, because some of them, like watch batteries, when you try and like, you can't push them down, and you can't, because if you like put water on there, it's just going to burn their throat is ultimately what's going to happen. So batteries are a big scary one right now.
Again, just to calm the fears, how often are you walking around with edible sized batteries?
Often.
Really?
Yeah, all the time.
How you have the
Yeah.
little tiny watch batteries? What are
Oh,
you
yeah,
putting
dude.
those in?
Yeah. I've got Band-Aids, and I've got a pocket knife, and I've got tape and rope and little watch batteries.
All
So,
right, Dean.
that's
The
part one.
the case of the Holy Pacifier. Is that this
One-
week in Fatherhood?
One pacifier. That's it. That's what I got. Keep you all updated.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming on, Dean.
Thanks, friend.
What are they doing here?
It's the weekly meeting, guys. Hee hee.